Hey guys, and welcome back to Deku Tarot and to your daily tarot reading for Wednesday, the 15th of January, 2019. So we're in the third quarter moon with it in Virgo still. It goes void though and moves into Libra, and the color of the day is yellow. Alrighty, so if you guys haven't, do check out your 2020 reads. They're all up, as well as all the January 2020 reads. So you can check out your year ahead as well as this month. Alrighty guys, so let's get into this. It's nice to be back doing the dailies. That hawk, the red-tailed hawks. I know if you guys watched the daily from the other day, I was telling that story about the hawk that dove down and almost got little sister, and then it was just flying around. And when I looked it up and stuff, it was a red-tailed hawk, and it is just screaming outside right now. So if it gets loud, I'll direct your attention to it. I'm shuffling up the Egyptian tarot here. We're going to take a look with that because the energy has definitely felt pretty intense. It's been a bit of a doozy lately. Especially so, I think, if you have Capricorn or Cancer placements. With Cancer and the moon at the top of my chart, eclipses really hit, and especially because it was in Cancer. So it was quite an interesting one for me. Okay, first card out for today, January 15th, 2019. I almost said 2019 again. 2020. It's going to take a bit for me to get used to that. All right, for today, Wednesday, January 15th, 2020. What do we need to know? What's today looking like? Oh, I knew you were going to be out. Okay. When this deck has something to say, it has something to say. I don't think there's anything else that wants to come out of this deck, though. I think it's going to be one of those days where we use quite a few decks, or at least 2 or 3. So the first card out here is the Two Ways. The Two Ways is, God, what does it represent in this one? I believe it's actually, what does it say on here? Taurus. And it's interesting because it's kind of like the Lover's card. In this deck, it goes by the, Eastern astrology rather than Western astrology. So it's a little bit different, but there is indecision here. There is danger in a choice or an inability to really figure out which is the right choice. When it feels to me with this archer pointing directly at this one, it's like which one is the right choice, but the other one might look really nice right now. It might seem really tempting. So let's see what that's really about here. With the Three of Wands reversed and the Chariot of Osiris reversed here. And this card really wanted to come out along with the Warrior of the Sword. They really forced their way out, but we'll get to him in a second. Because the Chariot of Osiris reversed here. Who does this represent? Gemini, I believe. So we got the 2 people on it. And with the 3 scepters reversed, it just feels like we're not really able to move forward, because it is kind of still that Chariot energy of, can you move forward? Which way can you move forward? And with the 3 Wands reversed, you're not going to feel like there's 1 or 2 or even a third way out. Like there's no 2 ways forward and there's no way back. We could feel quite stagnant and frustrated at this time. Or we have been, at least, about a decision that involves a choice that feels a bit more in-depth and moral. Let's pull some other cards. Let's use the Aquarian deck. I don't know why, but it's what's calling. So let's see. Let's dig a little deeper here. There's definitely choices. We want to make a choice, and yet we don't feel that we can. The Warrior of the Sword is what kind of breaks free of this energy. So something does seem to be coming in, whether it's knowledge, a download, information. Sometimes, the Warrior of the Sword, who is the Knight of Swords, kind of comes to me as a message. Only one card. Trying to move through a situation that is really plaguing us here. Six of Rods, the Moon. I mean, we want to move through it successfully. We want success in this situation. But here we are being forced to face some really intense fears. Fears of failure, it feels like. Because when the moon shows up, there's a sense of yearning. A sense of yearning for a more fulfilled life, for more information, for understanding. It is the Piscean card, so it does represent kind of a search. Digging into the emotional depths, you know, the fears, the anxiety, the worry, the weirdness, the things that don't make sense, and really looking at why, you know, it's these feelings, these situations, you know, what has turned inside of us here. Six of Wands. It kind of almost feels like a lot of you are stepping into this more esoteric realm on a situation and trying to just trust that, you know, we have to feel our way through this right now. Even if we can't see a way forward. I mean, this is where it does seem to get a bit stuck. Nine of Swords is below that. Chariot of Osiris and Three of Scepters reversed. And this is a lot of worry, again, all that fear, anxiety, and coupled with the moon, that brings up a lot of depth of emotion, a depth of, can this really work out? Is this really, are we really going to make it through this? And I have to say, it kind of feels like sometimes you feel like this just before the breakthrough, and it could be that you're running out of steam on this whole situation. But what comes through? Ooh. Too many cards, and they're all reversed. Well, not reversed, but face down. Something does want to come out about this. What's coming through? Something coming through to move this along. Yes. Yes, indeed. It is. Six of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and then the Ten of Cups follow. Your higher self has the love for you. You know what's going to make you happiest. If you listen, if you really pay attention to what this is bringing up and how you can really push on through it. Does this situation, again, bring what you really need and what you're really looking for? Or is it more illusory than anything? Because we really have to discern on this situation. We have to look at something that needed to probably be let go of a while ago. The Queen of Swords and Death. Maybe since Libra season, but in a sense, we're looking at this in a very truthful way and yet still trying to run away from the fact that we need to end it. There's stagnation. There's not really movement forward in this situation. You can't really move forward. So you're putting yourself in this position. It's like going forward on this road and there's two paths and you're choosing the one that you know is kind of a dead end in the dark. And you're not going to really know how to get out of it. And here we are. I'm kind of, Let's take it to the Hermetic Tarot. I don't know why. We're going forward with a lot of decks here, but that's fine. Eight of Swords reverse. You have to see that you're not stuck in this situation. You don't have to wait on this person, this whatever it is that you want so badly. You might have to actually step away from it. Five of Pentacles. You might have to take a walk alone away from this and let it go. Separate yourself from this emotionally, from this physically. And it could feel a lot like this. So some of you could be letting something go that has only brought you confusion, stress, anxiety. And what you're looking for now is stability, is knowing that, you know, you don't want to be asking why, and what is this the whole time? If it's a love situation or even if it's a career situation that continues to just plague you, what you really want here. And on the other side of this Ten of Swords is the Nine of Cups. Emotional fulfillment. You have to end something. You have to let something go and experience that moment of ruin, that moment of heartache, that separation. cutting that cord to open yourself up to that Nine of Cups. You have to, there has to be sacrifices is what this kind of brings up for me today. Let's pull some cards here. Some oracles. Oh my gosh. If I don't drop the whole deck. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Let's get a Goddess, Journey to the Goddess Realm Oracle deck card by Lisa Porter. I feel like this is really strange. You get two cards that are confirmations and then one card that actually is a goddess. And there's only 3 affirmation cards in this deck. So it's interesting to get 2 that are kind of interesting together. So let's see. Confirmation 2 and then confirmation 3. Affirmation. Yes. The full wine glass is symbolic of yes, affirmation. This card reaffirms the confirmation of your question, particularly the immediate goddess card or cards near it. Affirmation is the positive aspect of the whole. And then you get confirmation 3, revelation, non-duality. The Zen-like revelation card is a sacred talisman of non-duality. As positive and negative are 2 sides of the whole, yin-yang. The card contains both positive and negative energy while simultaneously neutralizing both. It is a consciousness-raising card, which requires mindfulness. The floating 4 feathers released are emblematic of natural support of the spirit realm covering the 4 corners of the universe. Reading this card in a spread is always a very personal experience and requires meditative contemplation. And then after this, you get Ampharite. And don't worry, we're going to talk about the fact that there's affirmation and then revelation. But this is a really interesting one right next to it. Willpower. Greek sea goddess Ampharite is queen of the sea. She lived happily with her sea nymph sisters until Poseidon, overwhelmed by her allure, desired to possess her. She refused him and fled to Atlas. Eventually, one of Poseidon's servants convinced Ampharite to marry him. She personifies the power of the sea, expressing her willpower through waves and storms. She can also be the gentle ebb and flow of the tide against the sand. Ampharite teaches you to channel your energy and direct it towards your objectives. Some projects will demand sheer will and determination. Others require calm focus. There's channeled strength and intensity, a mental focus here in terms of, harnessing your powerful emotions into determination to be able to adjust to changes in these circumstances that you're facing right now. I think this asks you to step to a higher plane here and look at this from a bigger perspective. Does what you're dealing with really matter with what you should be in terms of what you should be focusing on, in terms of what you need to choose to focus on rather than this for now? It feels like if this is something that is real, if this is something that you don't want to fully let go of, this is something that you might have to let go of for now and trust that if it's meant to come back, it will come back. It's kind of it's that kind of situation I feel for some of you. If this is going to happen, I don't think it's going to be now. And that's a message for some reason that I'm getting with all of this. So anyways, big messages. If you guys want to book a private reading, all that info is right below this video in the description box. Check me out over on Instagram. We have some fun over there. If you haven't, do make sure to like, share, and definitely subscribe to the channel. Check out your 2020 yearly reads as well as the monthlies, and have a wonderful and blessed day, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.